Hello students, this is Miss Mannion, and we're going to fill out a 1040 tax return today. How exciting. Let me show you where to find this assignment before we get into it. So it is in our module. So you can expand these or contract them. I suggest we're done with these two modules, so just put them away. And then go down to income and careers, and you want to go through these first. And income taxes. This is a PowerPoint, so if you read through this first and do the Nearpod, it will give you some vocabulary and things, so you're not totally going into this without any prior knowledge. All right, so we're going to click on this, and it gives you some instructions here. So we're going to download, or you're going to make a copy of the assignment here. Okay, so here's your assignment. I want you to read through the instructions and do this. So we're going to work on this first one together, though. So this person's name is Edgar Flores. He's 16. He lives with his parents. Works around 10 hours a week cleaning. Pools for $15 an hour. And then here is his W-2 form. So we're going to pull up his W-2 form first. So remember, your W-2 form comes to you from your employer, and it's basically a record of what exactly you've been paid throughout the year, and then also what you have already paid in taxes. All right, so we've got that pulled up. Now, if we scroll down, just pretend like they're from the current year, we're going to download a 1040 form from the IRS. Okay, so if you don't want to use a tax service, you'll actually do this for yourself. If you do, or my preferred one is Free Tax USA because they don't actually charge you for it. TurboTax and H&R Block tends to be very pricey. They claim to be free, but they tend to be really pricey. Free Tax USA, they really won't charge you for your federal return. They'll charge you a little bit for your state tax return, but it's usually like $12 or something. It's pretty minimal. All right, so we're going to use the information from our W-2 to fill this out. So let's get started. So first of all, he's 16, so he's probably single, right? We're going to assume he's single. His first name is Edgar J. Last name is Flores. And it says up here in his W-2 form, you'd find out right here. Oops, I spelled his name wrong. Always make sure that you spell everything the same way as it appears on your W-2 form. And then his social security number, you will find that right here in this box. And that's just X's for this. So 1, 2, 3. Okay. He doesn't have a spouse, so you leave that blank. And now we fill out his home address, which is down here. Let's see if I can copy and paste here. Oh, that didn't work. It's 123 Main Street. Los Angeles, California. And it's 90004. Oh, it's 111 West Main Street. Pardon. Okay. Now, if you have worked in a foreign country or lived in a foreign country during the year, then you would want to fill this out, but he has not. If you want to donate $3 to whichever presidential election campaign you want to vote for, then you can. You don't have to. Now we have to look at this. Okay, so we have to ask, can someone claim me as a dependent when I'm filling this out? If you are under 18, you can, and you're living at home, you can be claimed as a dependent. So he is 16 and he's living at home. So we're going to assume that his parents can claim him as a dependent. You cannot claim yourself as a dependent if you are claimed by somebody else as a dependent. Also, you cannot claim dependents if you are a dependent, meaning that if you are under 18 and living at home and you have a child, your parents can claim you as a dependent, which means that you cannot claim your child as a dependent because you already are a dependent. Make sense? Kind of, sort of. There's also a little worksheet that you can do this to find out if you're a dependent or not. But generally speaking, you probably are. Unless you're emancipated, you can be claimed as a dependent. Okay, so we don't have any dependents. Okay, we're assuming he's not blind. And then down here it says on line 1, wages, salary, tips, etc. So we look on our W-2 form. Boop, and it tells us in box 1 that our wages and salary and tips are $5,505. $5,505, and it will round to the nearest dollar, so don't worry about like cents and things like that if you're filling this out for yourself. Okay, if we go back to the instructions, it'll give us some instructions for all of these different lines that are on our 1040. So lines 2A through 7A assume 0 for each value. So 2A is 0. Interest would be like if we have a huge savings account and we're gaining interest on it, but he's not got that. Dividends would be like if you've invested in stock. IRA distributions are, an IRA is an individual retirement account, so he's not doing that yet. Pensions and annuities are also like a retirement thing. Social Security benefits are if you are receiving benefits from Social Security. I know that sounds like duh. Capital gains are from investments. Other income would be like if you had a business or something like that. All right, so his total income is just from his job. And that's probably where most of you will be as far as your first few tax returns. Okay, 8A, no adjustments to income. And that will be the same on all of these. All right, so we subtract line 8A from 7B, which just gives us $5,505. All right, here we've got line 8B, 5,505. And now we'll read the instructions for the next line, which is 9. So we've determined that he is a dependent, right? So if you are not a dependent, well, he is a dependent, so we're going to ignore that. If you are a dependent on line 7B, so 7B is $5,505. If 7B is, we're not over that. Okay, so we're less than that. So we add $350 to line 7B, which was our income, and enter the total on line 9. So line 9 would be 7B, 5,505 plus 350. And we get 5,855. Okay. So then we've got no business deduction. We add 9 and 10, and we get 5, 8. Okay, taxable income, subtract line 11A from 8B. So we subtract this from that. We get 5,505 minus 5,855 equals negative 350. So our taxable income is actually negative, and it says if it's 0 or less, just enter 0. Okay. That means we did not have any taxable income for the year. What that's saying is we didn't make enough to have to pay taxes. All right, so for 12A, to find tax for 12A, refer to the tax table starting on page 62 of the 1040 instructions. So we have to click on this to get the 1040 instructions. And these instructions are actually just paraphrasing the front part of this. So to get the tax table, just type in page 62. So if our taxable income is 0, our tax is also 0. It means we don't have to pay taxes for the year. Okay. So on 12A, we say 0. Assume this also is 0. Don't have any child tax credits because he doesn't have any children. Okay. Also 0. And also 0. It says over here to assume that there's 0 on all of those. Okay. Now, we look at our W-2 again and say, how much federal income tax did we actually pay? So if it's withheld, it means we've already paid it. So we look at our W-2 and it says, we have withheld $336. Well, if we already paid $336 and we don't actually owe any taxes, that means the government is going to give us that money back. Yay! No earned income credit, no additional child tax credit, no American Opportunity Credit, no other schedules. Okay. So our total payments are $336. That's what we've paid for the year. So if line 19 is more than line 16, subtract line 16 from 19. That's the amount you overpaid. Well, 16 is 0. 19 is here. We overpaid $336. Yay! So you can either choose to have that refunded back to you, or you can choose to apply it to next year's taxes. I would honestly just have it, sent back to you. And now here you put your bank's routing number and say whether it's your checking or savings account and your account number. Okay? Or you can apply it to next year's taxes. If you owe, then this is where you put what you owe, and then you have to pay it. Okay? Then you would sign here. You date it here. You tell them what you do. And then if you are sent a PIN, then you'd enter it there. If you do this on paper, then they usually don't do that. But if you use a preparer, like if you used software, then they'll send you a PIN. For if you want to have somebody else be able to discuss this with the IRS, you could put like your parents or something like that, or a preparer. If you use like an accountant, they sign here. Okay. So if you go to H&R Block or something like that and have a person do your taxes. If you just use software, then you don't have to fill that out. Okay? And then you would be done with this tax return. So you'd save it, and then you would upload it to Canvas so that I can look it over. So you don't have to, don't upload this first one because we did it together, but for the other individuals that you are doing taxes for. So you'll upload Melinda Flowers, Angie Lee, Marcus Roberts, and Boris Oswald. So you'll upload 4 total. Okay? These might be, a little different because they all have different jobs and they're different ages. If these guys probably won't be a dependent. So it'll make you think. And for each of these, you want to download a new 1040. Okay? All right. If you have questions, feel free to email me. Or come in or we can do like a Zoom chat or something. If you're in class, then feel free to just come and talk. All right, and just keep track. These are due November 1st, and they're available until the 13th. Okay, taxes have a very solid deadline, so I'm holding you to it. If you have to if you can't pay your taxes on time, or if you can't get this done on time because maybe some piece of information got lost in the mail or something, then you have to file what's called an extension, and then you get an extra 6 months. But you don't get an extension on this. Ha ha ha. All right. So try and work through this and let me know how it goes. All right. Bye, guys. All right, hi again. Sorry, I just noticed I have a little addendum to the instructions. So this form is from the IRS. This does not automatically save into your Google Drive. So what you need to do is come up here and hit download. And that will put it into your Google Drive. I'm on a Mac, so it'll look a little bit different for you guys. You can just save it as a PDF. And yeah, I'm just going to save it into my documents. Again, it'll look a little bit different for you guys. And then once it's in your drive, let's see, where did I put it? So here's where it saved it for me. Again, it'll look a little different for you guys because you're on a Chromebook. Say you can open it in Google Docs and then share. It might kind of mess up the formatting a little bit. That's fine. Don't worry too much about that. So you want to share, and then you want to get the link. And you can just put viewer, say copy link, and then go back to the instruction sheet. And then down here at the end, you can put the link to your completed 1040, and then you put in whatever his refund was, which was, I want to say $360 or something like that. So get the real amount, but and that's how you'll turn it in. So that way you don't have to upload a whole bunch of different 1040s. You'll just link them here, okay? I know early in the instructions I said to upload them individually, but this I think will be a little bit easier on Canvas. Okay, so links here, amounts that they either owe or are getting back in their tax return up in these boxes, and then you are good to submit it. All right, happy taxing. Yay! Bye, guys.